Now I will show you how to do the same type of thing without using the tables, but doing a little bit of programming. So I wanted to show you a little bit of programming and not put it actually in a program. I'm kind of weaning you into, doing programming with a TI, but kind of do step-by-step statements so you can see what you're doing. So let's give it a try. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and assign certain things and use different buttons. Let's assume that I'm entering y equals x squared. So enter that in L1. Now, in Y1. And then in Y2, in the equation, we are going to use the sum and sequence things. Now, I will tell the calculator, go take the addition of things, of sequences, without using the table. So I can use the SEQ button. And sequences of what? Some y variables, and this is my starting point A, plus KW. K meaning it is some kind of sequence. It starts from 1, you specified here, and it goes up to N. Okay? So it will take A and then multiply K and W and add to A and add them all up. And here what it does is, this is the y value. It will just take the multiplication of y value with the width. Okay, so this is where I'm going to go. So I will show you now step by step, and I have it here as well, where I get all these buttons. Okay, so sum comes from the list. Okay, so let me show you. You go to second stat, which is the list, and then you go to math, and then you go down to sum right here. Do you see that? When you push that, you get the sum. It will open the parentheses. Now I need the sequence. Then for the sequence, I will do the same thing. I'm going to go to list, and then I will go to math, and then this time I will go to not the math, but the operate OPS, and I will go get the sequence from right here. Do you see it? Now I have sum of sequences of what? Now I have y1. Where am I going to get that? I'm going to go get that from the variables. Watch the variable button. You go to y-vars, and then get the function. What are we talking about? We are talking about y1 of. Okay? So you just pick that. To pick it, you push enter. Of what? So let parentheses, that's easy. And then A, how am I going to get the A? You're going to do the alpha button. So you're going to go push second alpha math, and that's going to pick the A. Alright. And then plus. Plus is from here. You can push the plus right here, plus. And then you get alpha K, which is right here, times, and times is just regular times, and then alpha W. Alpha W is right here. And then close your parentheses. Now you're going to multiply it by W. Just push multiply. And then alpha W again. Then you go to comma. Comma is right here. And then you get the K from alpha K. Right here, alpha K, comma again. It goes from 1 to N, 1, comma, N, alpha N. And it is right here. Oops, not M, N. So let's go get the N right here. And parentheses, parentheses. Make sure the number of parentheses, left parentheses and right parentheses match. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's all good. So I put all that in Y2. Now I have to go and assign values to it. So how am I going to do that? Remember, I was integrating from 0 to 1. So I'm going to store 0, store A. Alright. And when you push enter, it's going to tell you, here it is. Then you store 1, store B. And B is right here. Here we go, it stored it. And I want 4 strips, 4, store N. N is right here. Okay, it did it. And now I'm going to enter that B minus A over N, and then I'm going to put that as a width, right? And you can go parentheses, alpha B minus alpha A, and let's divide it by N, alpha N. And I will store that in W. And W is right here. And push. It gave me 0.25. Now I'm going to see what happened to Y1, remember? So let's go and enter that. Where am I going to get the Y1? Remember, I get it from variables. Y variable, function, Y1. Okay. Now, Y2 is the integral value, remember? So I'm going to go and get the vars, Y variable, function, and this time pick Y2, 0.46875. Now, let's look at how I can do this with the left-hand approximation. What's going to change? Remember, what's going to change is that in here. So when I go back here, watch. I have the sum sequence. Everything is the same. The only thing that's going to differ is since I'm starting at 0, so I'm going to enter 0 right here. And then what is that going to be? It's going to be n minus 1, right? Because it's on the left-hand side. So I enter that with second insert minus second insert 1. Okay, and then I have 2 left parentheses. 1, 2. Got it? Alright, so it goes from 0 to, in this case, 3. Okay, so you go and you do everything else. Let's get out of here. We are going back to home screen. I can go and I can do it. Now let's see what I have. I have 0 to A, 1 to B. That's not going to change. 4 to N. B minus A over N goes to W. That is all the same, 0.25. What is going to change is that Y2. Alright? So all I have to do is, since I entered the Y2 already, all I have to do is just push Y2. So let's try and see if that works. Y variable, function, and let's go to Y2. Push. Here we go. This one was the right hand, and here's my left hand. Okay, so that worked. This is a little bit more cumbersome than using tables. I truly like using tables instead because I can actually visually see everything. So it looks like my area is between 0.21875 and 0.46875. So that's a big difference. And when you increase the number of strips, just like you see here, the difference is going to get smaller and smaller. Do you see that? So you will actually go and hit the exact value as n goes to infinity. And when you do that, you'll get 1/3. And I'll show you how to do that in your graphing calculator. You could have just used midpoint rule. It is very similar to left and right hand. You can do it either with tables or you can do it with the sequences and sum. But this time you're going to take the middle points and you can hand enter those and do the same exact steps as we did before. Now, let's go and get that 1/3 number, and I'll show you how that's done. I have the equation editor here. I will make this inactive by going to equal and just pushing enter, so this doesn't interfere with what I'm doing. Y equals x squared. Now I want to calculate the integral, the exact value. One way to do that, after you enter your function, you go to second calculate, and you see here the definite integral is built into your calculator. It's a very handy tool. And push enter. It will say lower limit. Remember, I was integrating from 0. And push enter. What's your upper limit? I was going to 1. And it visually shows me what's going on. Oh, why it didn't do that? I think it was the formatting thing and it didn't show me. Grid on, axis on, labels off. Maybe that's what the problem is. Let me go see if it's going to show the grading. I'll just try it one more time. So I'll go to calculate, and I'll take the integral, and I'm integrating from 0 to 1, 0, and 1. Oh, it's just calculating. I don't know why it's not showing me the grading, but that's not important. But the integral is going to be 1/3, and you can actually see the value here, and it actually went and calculated the exact value.